Imagine a once beloved digital wanderer, his voice echoing across screens with tales that united the world in wonder, yet shadows of deceit creep in, whispers of betrayal turning admiration to ashes. Who is this enigmatic figure, rising like a star only to plummet into infamy, his every word now scrutinized as a potential lie? As accusations mount like storm clouds, cultural theft, false neutrality, sacred mockery, the tension coils tighter. Each scandal peeling back layers of hypocrisy, building to a shattering revelation where ego's grip finally slips, exposing the true villain in a tale of fame's fatal flaw. Resolved in the quiet fade to obscurity that no apology can reverse, Nazir Yassin, the visionary behind Nas Daily, emerges from humble beginnings in Araba, a quaint town in Israel. Born to a Palestinian Muslim family whose roots would later fuel fiery debates about his identity and loyalties. At just 19, he secures a prestigious Harvard scholarship to study aerospace engineering, a field where precision and innovation collide, sharpening his mind for the creative exploits ahead. This academic prowess sets the stage for his breakout in 2012 with the whimsical Operation Skyfall. First, Hamburger in Space, where he and friends rig a weather balloon to catapult a simple burger 30,000 meters into the stratosphere, capturing the absurd ascent and descent on camera. The video detonates online, racking up 500,000 views in mere 3 weeks, as viewers marvel at the burger's cosmic journey, tumbling through clouds before parachuting back to Earth, a stunt that blends science, humor, and sheer audacity. Remember this quote, "You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain." The ominous warning hints at his trajectory, as this early success ignites his passion for viral storytelling. Fans flock to the novelty, sharing clips of the burger's high-altitude adventure, praising Yassin's ingenuity in turning everyday items into spectacles. Yet, even in this triumphant launch, subtle undercurrents stir. His Palestinian-Israeli background, mentioned casually in bios, looms as a potential flashpoint for future conflicts. As views pour in, Yassin's confidence swells, but so does the pressure to replicate the magic, planting seeds of ambition that could morph into overreach. Collaborations follow, each more polished, drawing him deeper into content creation's orbit. This origin story captivates, portraying him as a self-made innovator, but questions linger. Is this pure creativity or the start of a calculated climb? The intrigue builds as his Harvard-honed logic meets showmanship, foreshadowing how personal history might clash with public persona in the controversies to come. In 2016, Yassin embarks on an audacious pledge, vowing to craft and release 1-minute videos every single day for a grueling 1,000 consecutive days, each bursting with narratives of hope, humanity, and diverse cultures from around the globe, transforming him into a symbol of relentless positivity. He jets from continent to continent, camera capturing heartfelt moments like elders sharing ancient wisdom or children chasing dreams in bustling streets, condensing them into bite-sized inspirations that resonate with millions. By 2019, this marathon yields a staggering 12 million followers on Facebook, fans tuning in daily for his uplifting dispatches, commenting things like "Your stories make the world feel smaller and kinder." The video's radiant energy, with Yassin's signature black t-shirt and enthusiastic delivery drawing comparisons to motivational giants like Jay Shetty, positioning him as a beacon of global unity. He was a beacon of global inspiration alongside names like Jay Shetty and Shane Dawson, admirers recall, highlighting how his content bridges divides, from refugee tales to innovation spotlights. Yet, as the streak endures, fatigue creeps in. Production demands lead to shortcuts, hinting at a shift from authenticity to formula. Viewers notice recurring themes, polished edits that gloss over complexities, fostering whispers of superficiality. This era cements his icon status on YouTube too, with seamless transitions amplifying reach, but the cracks form accusations of exploitation simmer beneath the praise. The suspense heightens. How sustainable is this positivity empire when real-world nuances demand depth? As followers multiply, so does scrutiny, setting up the fall where his well-intentioned facade begins to fracture under the weight of unmet expectations. Cracks in Yassin's polished image widen dramatically as allegations of twisting facts, cultural disregard, and profiting off vulnerable stories pile up. Kicking off with his October 14, 2023, video My Israel and Palestine Explained, released amid the intensifying Gaza conflict, where global calls for ceasefires flood social media. In the clip, Yasin appears composed, offering a balanced view on the turmoil, his gentle smile and steady voice urging empathy and dialogue between sides. Audiences were curious. What would a man of Palestinian descent raised in Israel say about a war tearing the world and his own heart apart? The build-up teases as he speaks of mutual understanding and the futility of endless strife. Yet, this attempt at equilibrium backfires spectacularly, with critics slamming it as out-of-touch neutrality that mutes the suffering of the afflicted. People under fire don't need a voice straddling the middle. They don't seek reconciliation when neutrality silences the cries of the wounded, detractors argue, pointing out how his calm tone feels detached from the raw pain on the ground. The video racks up hundreds of thousands of views quickly, but comments sections erupt in division, some praising his courage while others decry it as performative. This pivotal moment marks the shift from humanitarian to hypocrite, as his background, once a biographical footnote, becomes ammunition in the debate. The tension escalates, with each view amplifying the divide, foreshadowing how this single upload could unravel years of built trust, inching closer to the revelations that expose deeper inconsistencies. The backlash surges from diverse voices, including a Vietnamese viewer who pens a searing comment challenging Yasin's pacifist stance, declaring, "I know your point is kind, but I disagree with you. As a Vietnamese, I have been taught how my ancestors fought to protect the country. My country was invaded and colonized by China, France, Japan, USA. They never wanted to free Vietnam. Vietnamese people had been slaves for hundreds of years until they fought and gained victory. If they just prayed for peace, if they wanted to be friends with the invaders, the country people would have been slaves for 1,000 years later." This analogy strikes a chord, drawing parallels between historical resistances and the current conflict, underscoring how passive calls for peace can perpetuate oppression. The comment goes viral within threads, sparking threads of agreement from others sharing colonial histories, amplifying the criticism that Yasin's message ignores the necessity of struggle against invaders. NASA's good intentions miss their moment. Summaries capture the sentiment as more users pile on, questioning if his Harvard education blinded him to grassroots realities. This global chorus of dissent turns the video into a battleground, with Yasin's attempt at bridge building instead widening rifts. The mystery deepens. Is this genuine naivety or a calculated bid to retain broad appeal? As shares spread, the pressure mounts, pushing Yasin toward defensive responses that only fuel the fire. Building toward more explosive contradictions, the storm intensifies with Yasin's provocative tweet proclaiming, "I'm Israeli first, Palestinian second," which many interpret as a blatant alignment with Israel amid the raging conflict, eroding his claims of impartiality and igniting accusations of betrayal from Palestinian supporters. Compounding the fury, eagle-eyed viewers unearth an old clip where Yasin, believing the camera off, vents curses against Israel in casual conversation with friends, a stark contradiction that circulates rapidly online. "What you said is, sir," the muffled audio hints at his raw frustration, clashing violently with his public persona of balanced advocacy. This duality shatters illusions, with critics labeling him a flip-flopper who tailors messages for audiences, losing credibility on both fronts. In trying to embrace both sides, Nas lost them both, observers note, as hashtags denouncing him trend, and former fans express disillusionment. The tweet, meant perhaps as clarification, backfires spectacularly, drawing ire from over 2 billion Muslims and others who see it as siding with the oppressor. This revelation heightens the drama, exposing layers of inconsistency that question his authenticity from the start, ratcheting up tension toward further faith-based blunders. In July 2024, Yasin unleashes "I studied Islam for 1 month and I lost all my hair," a title that dangles curiosity but detonates outrage by trivializing the holy Umrah practice of shaving heads for spiritual renewal, symbolizing humility and emulation of the Prophet. Muslims worldwide recoil, flooding comments with rebukes like "You learn nothing," "You're just playing games," and "A month isn't enough to grasp our faith," decrying the reductive clickbait that turns sacred rites into punchlines. The video, detailing his superficial dive into the religion, draws fire for inaccuracies and performative flair, becoming one of his most disliked uploads. For them, losing hair wasn't a joke. Shaving one's head after Umrah is a sacred ritual symbolizing purification, humility, and following the Prophet's path. Explanations clarify the offense. As communities mobilize to call out the disrespect, This act alienates a vast demographic, with Yasin's cultural bridge crumbling under the weight of careless steps. The uproar builds suspense, linking back to prior insensitivities and hinting at a pattern of exploiting beliefs for views. Prominent Muslim creator Smile to Jannah fires back in a pointed rebuttal video, dissecting Yasin's missteps and motives, asserting, "Why would you shave your head to make a point? We shave our heads after pilgrimage. This was an act of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and this is something that we replicate." Not doing it to make a point, while stressing that the issue transcends knowledge gaps to touch on fundamental respect. His analysis highlights factual errors, one-sided narratives, and an attitude reeking of showmanship over sincerity, rallying viewers to the cause. The online community didn't stay silent. They erupt, the response wave surges, with Smile to Jannah's video gaining traction as a voice of authority. This clash amplifies the wound, turning Yasin's exploration into a symbol of cultural overstep and connects to his history of turning faith into fodder. The confrontation escalates the narrative, questioning if redemption is possible amid mounting alienation. Flashback to July 2021, when Yasin's world's oldest tattoo artist showcases 103-year-old Wang Od from the Philippines' Kalinga Mountains. Her thorn needles and charcoal ink preserving ancestral traditions, captivating over 1.1 million viewers who laud the glimpse into indigenous artistry. Viewers were captivated by Wang Od's dedication and the unique cultural heritage she represents. Praises flow as the video freezes time on her daily rituals. Yet, trouble brews when Yasin declares in the description that she's teaching on Naz Academy, linking to courses on her techniques, a move hailed initially but soon exposed as unauthorized. Yasin counters the scam allegations by releasing footage of Wang Od's thumbprint on a contract, insisting, "We approached Wang Od because just like you, we love her." Everybody was compensated. 40% of the Naz Academy team is Filipino, so for us, this is personal, but his remark backfires, likened to "I go to church, so I'm automatically a good person." Wang Od's granddaughter Gracia Piquez refutes. She did not understand what the translators were saying. Apo Wang Od is not aware of the contract, sparking #unfollow and is daily. A 500,000 follower hemorrhage, a government probe revealing communal consent requirements, and a remedial team visit yielding a new agreement. This saga tightens the noose, resolving partial amends but exposing ongoing flaws, diving deeper into Philippine woes. Luis Mabulo accuses Yasin during his Cacao Project visit of deriding accents and quipping, "No one cares about farmers or farms. It's not engaging content," while he retorts, "It's a for-profit that exploits farmers," backed by Project Nightfall, noting, "The trees were all dying," opting against a misleading video. The mutual barbs leave truth contested, eroding trust further. Yasin's crypto endorsements in hidden paid spots. The most generous billionaire for fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried, sentenced to 25 years, and the most humble crypto billionaire for sanctioned CZ breach YouTube rules. As he admits in a podcast, the characters are actually paid sponsorship. We do not say that, unveiling profit over principles. Ultimately, Yasin's scandals weave from ego's thread, his self-righteousness blinding him to critique, dooming him to sub-100,000 views and fading relevance. A cautionary resolve that oversized pride fells even heroes, urging creators to humility or face inevitable obscurity.